Hello, this is Astro Design and I'm really your guide. Mercury in astrology influences communication, intellect, logic and quick thinking. It shapes how we think, talk and understand stuff. It also impacts trade, travel, technology, marketing, learning, curiosity and problem-solving abilities. Every 3 months or so, it appears from Earth's views that this planet goes retrograde. This, in turn, influences how we absorb Mercury's quantum energy and behave accordingly. Thus, it's a very important period to consider in our daily life. Before any retreat of Mercury, it begins to slow down to a stop, and during this period the effects of the retreat itself will already be felt. When in the retrograde period, everything that this planet represents for us can go wrong. In this retrograde period, it's interesting to note that Mercury is going to move only in one sign, the sign of Sagittarius. Religion, higher faith, knowledge, exploration, adventure seeker. It represents the 9th house, and there is also law and judgment systems and academic studies. It is also a fiery sign in which Mercury doesn't feel comfortable. Thus, it can manifest quick, irrational thinking and communicating and even acting upon false beliefs and observation without any proof. Especially when it comes to God, consciousness, higher philosophies, this Mercury can debate very loudly only for the sake of tongue scratching. The pre-shadow period is already showing the slowing down of communication, emergence of misunderstandings, even communicational conflicts, and technical breakdowns. This period is best to consider as a rehearsal for the retrograde period itself, and as such it's better to try to avoid anything that is not recommended during the retro period. As always, retrograde Mercury periods are best for reflection of the past. Rethink and rearrange the past according to the position in your birth chart. To go back and sort something out. For example, if this period takes place in your natal 4th house, you have an opportunity to sort out the mess at your home, your emotional world, to reorganize the house, to let go of things that do not contribute to you in the framework of your home or even emotions within you. It's good time to communicate emotionally with the people that you considered family and those who live with you, to clear things out about your mutual past. It won't be a good period for house purchases, moving to different house, purchase of vehicles or doing repairs with vehicles or renovation at your home, unless it's something acute and cannot wait until the retrograde period is over. It is also not good time to try to solve conflicts with your close ones in the same manner as before, especially if it didn't work until now. Let's see what are the effects of this Mercury on a global energetic field. The pre-shadow and the post-shadow starts at 6 degrees Sagittarius and the 9 Gene Key. It is the power to tame the small details, logical process, to establish logic and understand the world through it. In order to achieve it, we have to find the right energy, the focus energy for it, and do repetitions, which many people don't like. This potential in a beneficial way can only be realized through attention to the smallest details, smallest aspects of your movement in life. But don't confuse. It is not a mental energy, it's not something that you need to think about it. But the ability of your body itself to be aligned to anything it does in life with great and concentrated intention. To understand and accept that the achievement of any high or big goal is through small steps, even those that we can mistakenly think that are useless. In its negative frequency, it creates a lack of focus and kind of ADHD, giving too much focus on small and meaningless stuff. At a higher level, we can learn to use routine and other small deeds to serve our higher inner purpose. However, with the low frequency, the small details can take over us, to drain our life force, to take away the enthusiasm, and eventually drown us into indifference. The 9 gene key shadow deals with what we focus on, not with our thoughts, but with our daily activities. It is important to note here that every little step we take always promotes us in life, but it is difficult for us to see it because the world is too used to be focused on the outcome and not the process. Reaching the result, fulfilling our true dream, is paved in many waves and through small steps. Usually nothing happens immediately, and we have to invest and persevere in our dream. It is essential to be focused on the ultimate goal we want to achieve and not let anything distract us from that focus. This is especially important for our physical energy levels. Negative energy frequency of gate number 9 can drain energy from someone who has it on their map constantly from birth and prevent from gaining access to high frequency energy. And now all the people worldwide will feel this energy because it will be activated in all of us. This downfall in energy happens because we focus too much on our future without focusing on doing something from the heart here and now. This transit allows us to be in focus on the highest goals of our lives, to rethink what we truly want to achieve, to look back and see what steps we already are doing or did in that direction and what distracts us from it. This is the energy of determination, but don't act upon it now. Wait until the post-shadow begins. On the global level, there are and can be too much talk about goals and how to achieve them globally. But it will all stay at the level of talking, no acting upon it. Although maybe some people at the higher places, those with power, will try to act, but the effect will be opposite of what they want to achieve, and it will be eventually cancelled because it won't achieve anything meaningful. Now you can check with yourselves on what level the energy frequency of this gate is influence you right now and influence you in the past. Being aware of that can assist you in changing it for the better. You could be at the first group of the people who have no inner willingness to act. All their energy is frozen. From the outset, they are dismissing their goals and do not want to take even small steps in their direction. It is the paralysis of our will, caused by useless patterns that repeat themselves. Only getting out of our comfort zone towards our fears will lead to getting out of this paralysis. These people must check with themselves the power of their inner intention. How much do they want to keep getting stuck in the same place? And how much do they want to get out of their frustrations? The second group of people are not paralyzed like the previous ones, but they are too reactive, constantly moving and doing things, and cannot be physically and internally quiet. They do it without awareness and only to distract from the excess drive and their inner anger. They are hyperactive in order to avoid their inner anger and true intentions. This behavior creates severe health damage to their body. This is also the reason why they fail to persevere in one thing, which makes them even more angrier. They do not like to mess with the small details and make small steps. They want results here and now. The next group of people are those, they are minority first of all, and they are the only one that can overcome the low frequencies of the two previous groups through the talent of purposefulness and determination. Such people are minority, of course. They understand that every action, even the most insignificant, has a supreme goal. Every deliberate act is a magical act. Even the smallest action creates a spin effect that spreads through the universe. Actions performed out of resentment or fear reinforce the negative frequency worldwide. Indifferent actions increase indifference in others. It's a domino effect. While actions done in joy and in the name of service create more joy. So after Mercury teaches us about this energy key at the pre-shadow period and the post, it will move to its retrograde pace from the 26th of November, activating the 11th gene key. It is the gate of ideas and information processing, related to vision, visualization, and turning visual stimulation into picture and idea. Most people blindly believe what they see or hear and thus identify too much with their ideas and beliefs. This energy is the storehouse of the belief system created as a result of our life experience. There is a great gift and ability here to combine images and small visual details into complete image. There is an emotional or sensory stimulus here due to visualization that integrates with the imagination that can create image in the brain. This is belief and its ability to share it with others in order in order to teach something or to achieve something. Through this gift, it can learn others without having to experience it. At low energy frequency, we are immersed in two types of extremes. The first, we are stuck in the world of fantasies without creative outlet. And the second, because of denial and anger, we try to turn the fantasies into something tangible but miss and fail. Most fantasies aren't meant to be realized. Sometimes we live in deep denial, cannot let go of the image we have painted in our head, so we face potential disappointment and even failure, a kind of illusion created out of an attempt to make a false dream into a true one. Only when we understand our true dream and filter out the rest of the unrealistic fantasies can we help others to realize theirs. Otherwise, we may get stuck in plethora of unrealizable ideas. This key is the energy that is responsible for the virtual reality, to which many are trying to escape from the harsh reality, in which every wish can be shattered on the rock. If we dare to trust our images and dreams, let them evolve in our imagination and accept them as they are, we can begin to emerge from the world of illusions we have built for ourselves. Awakening from the illusions the world imposes on us and connecting to ourselves, contrary to what others think of it, is the way to find a realistic idea or wish in the ocean of this illusion world. During this time, people worldwide will try to hold on to false beliefs, illusions that the government is trying to present to them, which will further make them the victim of their self-illusions. It is essential to learn to listen to our real, true nature and not to the pressure from the outside. Also, many people can get stuck in the unreal reality through internet and AI tools, not knowing that they are losing the war on their soul fulfillment. As before, I will divide people into three main groups in the manifestation of this energy. The first group are people that stuck in daydreaming. They are locked up in virtual world that they created for themselves. They are stuck in fantasies that their head produced or fantasies that other people produced for them. Created out of fear of our images and dreams, it gets us stuck on the delusional side of life. If we do not find creative way to get out ideas and dreams out of our head, it will become a prison and block our path to our true destiny. The second group are full of illusions. Such people can have great idea, but they do not accept it, and at the same time they try to realize the ideas of others, which bring them disappointment. There is also a denial here to the inner world as with the previous group. The difference is that the former suppress their inner world and this group escapes from it by outward activity. Until their true dream is revealed, they will live in illusions, which can cause a psychophysical breakdowns. The third group are people who have managed to get out of fantasy worlds that others are trying to force on them, or that they have previously tried to escape into. They understand that every idea or belief is not made of stone and can always change and form, and from this insight comes utmost freedom. They know that any archetype that society or experience imposes on us is not the supreme truth. Every archetype can be changed through our imagination, and therefore we must not identify with it. The ability of such people to sail with the imagination without identifying with any archetype is inspiring to others. Now that you know the micro-interpretation of Mercury's retrograde journey this time round, let's see the astrology influence. In the pre-shadow period, Mercury receives beneficial aspects from Mars, which gives speed and harmonic action-oriented thought process, determination to act upon what we think and believe, but Mars itself gets a harsh aspect from Pluto that can jeopardize its action because of aggression and resistance of the outer social aspects and norms. In more simple words, if you act upon your thoughts without getting sufficient information, you will get resistance from groups of people, especially online. Also, Mercury receives a very restrictive aspect from Saturn, and it gives criticism, self-doubt, and the sense that you have restrictions from the universe itself for your thoughts to be put into action. So, gather information and facts carefully. Although it won't mean anything to others because they can still resist you, but it will help you in the future. The retrograde period. Mercury opposite Jupiter. This transit can bring mind and imagination expansion on the expense of reality check and meaningful plans. We can be easily distracted, easily believe false gurus and so-called gurus and guides who will try to impose their world view upon others. This transit can lead to false ideas, false belief acceptance, false gurus to emerge, and many scams and false communication exchanges. Especially that Neptune, the planet of illusions, gives Mercury a harsh aspect as well. And it all happens on the Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini fields. The places of mass, religion, beliefs, communication and subconscious aspects. Very interesting joke of the universe on the ship mind consciousness. Anything new that you will find interesting or believe is true in this period will prove to be totally the opposite after the retrograde period is over. So don't start to believe anything you haven't heard before or checked, or both, of course. The communication of many people will tend to skip the important details, and not only skip but don't have any proof or basis for that, just something that they made up from their mind. So business or sales negotiations can go very, very wrong. It is also a very greedy energy that will be transferred through communication. This is a good time for questioning our plans, ideas, and beliefs. Communicating beliefs or opinions that are too far from the social norm may cause conflicts and gossip. We may need to find a balance between being too provocative and being too dull. The post-shadow period. At last, Mercury receives two positive aspects with no resistance. And once again, we receive drive and action orientation from Mars and friendly harmonic aspect from Venus. We can now start to implement our ideas as long as they are aligned to our identity, because Sun gets negative aspects, and thus we need to pay attention to what is in our nature and what is imposed from the outside and won't be natural for us. Also, Venus receives great beneficiary aspect from Jupiter, which will give our communication and actions harmony and even new ventures for mutual advancement and expansions of our mutual resources. This is all for me for this video. Hope you like my interpretation. For more, please subscribe and like my video. Take care.